Listen up, you delicate fucking snowflakes. While you're crying about microaggressions on Twitter, the Vikings were out here turning entire kingdoms into parking lots, raping, pillaging, and building an empire that stretched from fucking Canada to Constantinople. These weren't horn-helmeted opera singers from your comic books. These were 6-foot-tall, axe-wielding, boat-rowing psychopaths who made the Romans look like pussy accountants. Today I'm telling you the raw, uncensored truth about the Vikings. Buckle the fuck up. This is history the way it actually happened. What's up, you beautiful bastards? Welcome back to the channel where we don't give a shit about political correctness. If you're new here, hit subscribe and ring that bell, because we're about to drop red pills harder than Thor's hammer. First off, Viking wasn't even a job title. It was what they did. Viking means raiding or piracy in Old Norse. These guys were mostly Norsemen from Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. Farmers, traders, and when the mood struck, professional assholes. They weren't some united empire. They were clans of absolute units who lived by one simple rule: if it's not nailed down, it's mine. And if it is nailed down, I'll burn the building and take the nails too. Physically, these motherfuckers were jacked. Average height around 5'9" to 6'2", when most Europeans were malnourished midgets. They ate meat, fish, and lifted longships for fun. Their diet was so good, archaeologists find them with better teeth than modern Brits. And yeah, they were white, shockingly white, blonde, red-haired, blue-eyed killing machines. Deal with it. June 8, 793 AD. Lindisfarne Monastery, England. Monks are praying when these longships beach like the world's worst Uber delivery. The Vikings slaughtered the monks, stole everything that wasn't nailed down, and probably fucked a few things that moved. They shed blood like water, and defiled the holy places. This wasn't random. The church had gold pouring out its ass while preaching poverty. Vikings looked at that and said, "Thanks for the donation, bitches." After Lindisfarne, it was game on. They hit every soft target in Britain, Ireland, France. The Great Heathen Army in 865, led by Ivar the Boneless, that crazy bastard who was probably crippled but still conquered half of England through sheer psychotic willpower. They took York and turned it into a Viking stronghold. King Ella of Northumbria? They gave him the blood eagle, cut his ribs open from the back, pull his lungs out like wings, and watch him drown in his own blood while still alive. The Vikings didn't give two shits about your rules of war. Geneva Convention? They'd use it as toilet paper. Everyone loves the strong, independent Viking women meme. Shield maidens existed. Sagas mention them fighting, and archaeology backs some of it up. But Viking society wasn't a feminist utopia. Women ran the farms while men were out murdering. They could divorce and had some rights compared to most medieval shitholes. But the Vikings also ran a massive slave trade. They captured hundreds of thousands of Europeans, especially Slavic people. The word slave literally comes from Slav. They sold them to Arabs, Byzantines, whoever paid. Dublin was a huge slave market. Imagine being a pretty Irish girl captured by these hairy giants. Your future involved rowing, farming, or warming some Jarl's bed. Exploration though, respect. Leif Erikson reached North America around 1000 AD to 500 years before Columbus. They called it Vinland, built settlements, fought Native Americans. One saga says a pregnant Viking woman charged into battle screaming and swinging a sword. Absolute legend. They reached Baghdad and served as the Varangian Guard for the Byzantine emperor, elite bodyguards, because they were too loyal and too violent to bribe. One emperor said they were worth 10 of his own men. So why did they stop? Christianity. Once they converted, the raiding slowed down. They got soft. Kingdoms formed. The fun police won. But for 300 years they terrorized Europe. Normandy is named after Northmen. The Normans who conquered England in 1066? Viking descendants. Russia? Named after the Rus, Swedish Vikings who founded Kiev and Rus. They weren't invincible. They got their asses kicked sometimes. Alfred the Great roasted them. But they shook up weak kingdoms. Their DNA is everywhere in Britain and Ireland, up to 60% in some places. They brought trade, shipbuilding, and law codes that influenced everything. The Vikings were colonizers, raiders, conquerors. Exactly what every successful civilization was. The difference? They were honest about it. No bullshit excuses. Just, your stuff is now my stuff, fight me. The Vikings were savage, racist by modern standards, sexist by modern standards, and unapologetically based as fuck. They took what they wanted and laughed while doing it. That's why we romanticize them. Deep down, in this castrated modern world of safe spaces and participation trophies, we miss men who were actually dangerous. If you want more uncensored history, Romans, Mongols, samurai, whatever, smash like, subscribe, drop a comment. Who was more brutal, Vikings or Mongols? I read every single one. Share this with your based friends before YouTube bans it. Thanks for watching, you magnificent degenerates. Now go lift something heavy. Peace.